Okay, guys, so this happened a few weeks ago, but it is relevant. Um, so the GOP in Arizona passed the 15-week abortion ban. Isn't that interesting? So Arizona's got it, Florida's got it, Texas has an entire ban going all the way up to 6 weeks. So what is in the water? I don't know. Could we possibly see a red wave in 2022? I do not know, but let's go through this article really quickly. Now, you guys have to understand, as we've seen, unfortunately, a lot of our lawmakers are, shall we say, multi-invested. And so this just might be an appeal to pro-life voters. So we have to be careful. But I do want to be excited with the fact that this particular bill has passed, because what it means is that less babies will be aborted. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Now, surgical abortions will be substantially limited. Maybe not as much as Texas, but it's progress. You want to call that progress. I'm happy that the bill passed here. I'm happy that it passed in Florida. And I am looking forward to more states adopting legislation like this. So let's read here a little bit. Republicans who control the Arizona Senate, they open up with who's in control. They voted Tuesday to outlaw abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy, moving to put a new ban in place ahead of a highly anticipated U.S. Supreme Court decision that could bring seismic changes to abortion availability in the United States. I guess they're talking about the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Maybe somebody knows something that I do not know. The vote came over objections from minority Democrats who said that the measure was unconstitutional under the landmark Roe v. Wade and other Supreme Court decisions that the High Court could overturn. They also said any ban would disproportionately impact poor and minority women who won't be able to travel to Democratic states without strict abortion laws. Isn't that interesting? Look, worry about your state, okay? If it's banned in your state, don't be concerned about where women are going to go for abortions. They're going to travel regardless. Believe me, they will. A lot of them are coming to Florida from outside states, and Florida doesn't even have incredibly liberal abortion laws. Now they really don't, because they just drew it back to 15 weeks. So when it was at 24 weeks in Florida, we would get people from Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, people from other states would come down here to get abortions because our laws were more lenient. And so they're saying here now, for the people that can't travel, they're going to be limited by this bill. Really? No. No, they won't. Unfortunately, they won't. Okay? They'll probably all just fly to New York. It's probably a lot cheaper now. Or maybe not right now, gas prices the way they are. It would have been 2 weeks ago, maybe. Anyways, but Senate Nancy Bartow, the Republican sponsor of this bill, said she hopes that the High Court upholds a Mississippi law banning abortions after 15 weeks, and it is now weighing. The Senate has an obligation to protect life, and that is what this bill is about, Bartow said during the debate. A 15-week-old baby in the womb has a fully formed nose, lips, eyelids. They suck their thumbs. They feel pain. That's what this bill is about. I agree. Arizona already has some of the nation's most restrictive abortion laws, including one that would automatically outlaw it if the High Court fully overturns Roe. So what they're saying here is that if Roe v. Wade was to flip, Arizona would be one of the first states that would basically have no abortions. They probably essentially have a law in place that outlaws abortion. They just can't enforce it because it would be kind of like what we're talking about for Texas. It would counter a federal law which has heavier authority, and so it would not be enforceable. But if Roe v. Wade turns, all of a sudden that law is enforceable, and there's an automatic sweeping legislation that would outlaw abortion altogether. So maybe, the nearly 5-decade-old ruling that enshrined a nationwide right to abortion, that was Roe v. Wade. Yeah, if they turn Roe, maybe Arizona does have a law in place that would just blanket the entire state with a ruling that says you can't have abortions at any stage for any circumstances. That's quite possible. Republicans hope to put the 15-week ban in place so it takes effect quickly if the Supreme Court further limits abortion rights but stops short of fulfilling the overturning of Roe. The measure closely mirrors the Mississippi law, right? So Mississippi also has a pretty good bill that passed, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I just like some things in the water because a lot of states are hopping on board. Under current abortion rulings, abortion is legal up until the point a fetus can survive outside the womb, which is usually around 24 weeks, which is what Florida had. Democratic Senator Martin Quezada pushed Bartow on the state of the law today with Roe and a series of follow-up discussions enshrining women's right to abortion. I understand the hopes of what the Supreme Court will do from your side of the aisle, Quezada said. But as it stands today, right now, is this law constitutional or not? I believe it is. I believe it is, Bartow, the Republican who wrote the bill, said. I believe our Constitution stands clearly for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the first part of that is life. Quezada, who represents part of Glendale, said that's just wrong. It's wrong to support life. If we are waiting to see what the Supreme Court does, let's wait to see what the Supreme Court actually does before we start trying to change these laws, he said. How very convenient. I'm sure he's being lobbied by someone who runs an abortion mill. Otherwise, you're spinning our wheels right now. No, they are not. If they pass the bill, which they did, it restricts abortions after 15 weeks. That means any baby from the 24th week marker to the 15-week marker is not being aborted. That's change. That is relevant and very worthy of being in practice. We're not spinning wheels here, okay? We are saving kids. I don't know why that's so difficult. He also noted that the low-income Arizonians who already struggle to access healthcare will be impacted by the 15-week ban. You better believe it. They're going to have to keep their kids. They had to do that millions and millions and millions of times before. I don't see what the problem is here. Instead of making this type of healthcare is dismembering kids, by the way. Instead of making this type of healthcare more accessible to these people, we're making it more difficult for them to access to it. I highly doubt that. So the reality is that we are making life harder for the people that need the help most in our society. Women need abortions like they need Ebola, okay? It is not healthy to have abortions. It's not healthy to their body. It's not healthy to their mental health. Notice how Planned Parenthood never follows up with the people that they've given access to abortion, you know, like their counseling services, things like that. They can't handle these women after these abortions, okay? These women come to the crisis pregnancy centers that are facilitated and sponsored by pro-lifers. That's how that goes. There's an entire organization dedicated to post-aborted women, and it was not founded by Planned Parenthood. It's called Rachel's Vineyard. It's a Christian organization. It's by pro-lifers, and it is founded because they realize how traumatized these women are after having access to abortions. So the only thing he's going to be helping is their mental health get worse by having them get clearer, easier, more efficient, more effective access to abortions. But who cares, right? As long as he makes money. I'm almost certain he's being lobbied by an abortion advocate. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain he is. It's just weird that that's the argument that he would give, that they're spinning wheels. The law passed. They're not spinning anything. Whether Roe v. Wade gets overturned or not, this is an independent bill, and it made significant changes in the state. Now, that's up to them if they think this is a good change or a bad change, but you're not spinning wheels if a significant change was made, and that's exactly what happened here. They're not spinning wheels about anything. Yes, I am ranting. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked that this is the kind of dialogue that takes place in debating common sense. It's sensible to keep a baby intact. That's sensible. I'm sorry For those of you who don't think that is sensible, you need to go and, you know, buddy up with Ted Bundy. So anyways, I'm so disgusted. I'm not even gonna go through the rest of this article. I'm really happy that this bill passed. I will post a link to this article in the description below. And I would like to look into this Mississippi bill next. But yeah, that's Arizona right now, guys. 15-week ban on abortion. I think that's wonderful. And I'll talk to you guys soon.